everybody. Today we're going to look at the artwork that Chris Atkins brought to the live stream. I'm going to stay out of it pretty much, but I zoomed in on everything so you guys can enjoy the show.
So we're going to go over all of the wonderful things that you have brought us today.
Yes.
And the first thing is talking a little bit about the Servant of the Soil. And you actually worked on this.
Yeah, this is...
And so this is a monthly cosmetic item that you guys have seen before. So if we could go ahead and swap over to that asset, that'd be great.
Yeah, it was actually... I had a ton of fun doing this. I've really been in a lot of like player character stuff and armor sets for the last, I don't know... Wild development. Yeah. And I mean, we've been sneaking creatures in here and there. I just haven't got to do that many. So, yeah, I had a really nice time sculpting this. It was fun. Again, Jinsey and the whole team, Carson, Keith, everyone really collaborative. So everyone gave me a ton of feedback during the whole sculpt process. So.
Okay, look at the Servant of the Soil here. Do you guys remember Groot's mom? That big wooden head? If this is the Servant of the Soil, is Groot's mom the mom of the soil? Is she the goddess of creation? Does she give all the plants and anything life? And also give us life when we get revived? If you put the clues together, I think it could be. What do you think?
I had a really fun time designing this this month, because this month was very like clerical and like nature oriented.
Yeah.
So it was really fun to do, and you guys made it come to fruition, and it's amazing.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah, a lot of the design stuff that's been coming in for the cosmetics is awesome. There's a lot of really cool stuff. And yeah, we're just kind of hammering it out. I mean, our main focus right now has been
I like that he has defined butt cheeks.
He does! Yeah, I had to.
Those are called bark cheeks?
Those are bark cheeks. Yeah. There's been a lot with this guy with moss placement and other things. Yeah, it's in a lot of scrutiny.
The concept art had it too, so it's...
The concept has it in there, look.
Yeah, there's the concept art for it.
Yeah, it was really fun though. We have a lot of great artists here, driving style. So it's pretty easy when you get stuff like this to just sculpt.
Someone said he missed log day.
He did miss log day. Look at him. Look at his little stumps.
He even has like the little essence stuff coming out of his
Yeah, I still try to follow like kind of human anatomy even when making creatures. So you still try to hit all those muscle groups and parts. But yeah, it was really fun to do. Yeah, I think my team actually approves of something I did for once. It's good. It's good. It's good.
I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about this creature at all, Steven.
Yeah, I think it's, one of the things that is really cool about this little guy is, like all of our cosmetic pets that we've had available, he's just going to follow around, your character and kind of hang out with you. And it's going to be interesting to see what type of, ancillary effects like this. He sprout little flowers off of him. Do roots start to grow out of his feet?
Yeah, I want little lightning bugs coming out of his head and stuff.
Exactly.
Like just neat ambient.
It's going to be fun to see effects kind of get a hold of this and play around with that.
And I think animation has got it, and they're going to start working
on it. Yeah, they have it now. And speaking of modularity, I think we've been talking about a lot on all the teams. This was constructed as like a torso, and all those parts, the head, arms, and legs could all be swapped. So we're really trying to think about variation going forward, especially we're making MMOs.
I mean, exactly. As you know, because you've done a lot of them, right?
Yep.
Having that reusability in a way that answers the question of a lot of different types of creatures that we want to have, and making sure that this can branch out, no pun intended, to a lot of different uses.
Yeah. Well, hopefully y'all are enjoying that. We'll probably show off some of the animations in maybe next month's live stream or so on and so forth, depending on how far along they are.
They're starting to rig it right now.
So let's move to the Warbeast, which this is another Jinsey creation.
Yeah, this one's fantastic.
Out of her head, right?
Yes.
What? I want to live in her head.
Yeah, she
makes so many amazing things.
It's probably small though.
Yeah, it's very tiny.
She's small.
Yeah, look at it.
Yes, look at it. Look right at it. This thing is amazing. Look at the skin and the textures and everything. It's all weird looking in the face part. This thing is awesome. You can't tell me this isn't awesome.
It's not small.
This guy's big.
Again, with reusability, we basically have a lot of like rhino type skeletons and things coming up.
Yeah.
So this was one where she's sort of been living off of a lot of concepts because we have so many, and then she sort of had an idea about Siege, watching Lord of the Rings and all the stuff we have, and she was like, "Oh, I'd love to make this big beast." And I was like, "Yeah."
When she was showing it to me, I was like, "Oh, I know."
You literally called out what it was, which is great because that's what she was going for.
I know.
Yeah, it's really nice to see her sort
There
of.
has been a lot of discussion about how big this is because she was envisioning it like bigger than an or like
Oh,
more
she wants to keep
elephant-sized.
scaling it up. Yeah, she wants a person
and
the size
Steven's
of the
like,
toenail.
No.
Well, I didn't say no per se. I just said that it could only be the scale she wanted it to be in a specific setting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is
It's
okay.
pulling
but
siege weapons.
But obviously, you know, part of what character goes through is you know, creating these kind of master segments of parameters in which these different mounts and or creatures can exist in that make sense from an environment standpoint, like going through doors or from you know.
Can you imagine that thing going through doors?
No.
No, this
that
would
would
take your city out.
Yeah, Kool-Aid Man
It'd be-
through the door.
Oh yeah.
This is the node destroyer. Yeah, it's Mr. Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so right now, if you on the screen, you can see kind of just going through her speed sculpt of everything. But yeah, just gave her a little direction on basically keep a rhino proportion so we can reuse the skeleton and then have fun with it. And that's exactly what she did. So it was really nice to see her go off concept. I mean, she's a great artist.
And she made like the saddle, or not the saddle, but like the reins that hold it
all the
together.
yoke and the barding and everything like that. Yeah, because Chris Myers, the lead animator, he wanted to make sure it had sort of attachment points. So if we do hook it up,
because it's going to be used to kind of like pull siege weaponry and stuff.
Yeah, it could be.
Process.
I think our plan is sort of ambient for now, but it could definitely be used in multiple facets.
It's very cool.
Yeah, it's a really nice piece.
Someday we'll get Jinx again.
We'll get her on.
Maybe,
I keep asking. You're the one that's going to have to talk her
I
into
know.
it. She likes you. I feel like you could get her in here.
Or maybe it'll be a video thing that
I
we
could
can
always
get her
just
on.
voluntold her. Just
I don't like to do that.
Get on there.
And then we have another dragon that we were going to show
We
off.
do.
So you guys have seen kind of wormling dragons. This is an elder dragon that is being worked on. And this is another creation from Keith's head.
Yep.
Which Keith is, you've seen him on the stream here before. He's very chill, but he's also
great.
amazing.
Yeah. We're very lucky. All the character artists are very creature oriented and they love it. I mean, Jincy knows so much about everything. Birds. She's like, well, I have birds. I have this pet. I have this. So she knows so much about everything. And Keith's exactly the same way, where he loves characters. He loves creatures, and he loves just design. He likes concept to kind of give him, a little direction, but he loves making up stuff. And this thing's great.
Now this guy is massive. This is a character would likely come up about maybe a toe size on him because
we wanted this to be a massive
big
elder
boss
dragon.
fight. Yes, exactly.
Okay, did you hear that? It's about as big as an airplane. This thing is huge, maybe even bigger than an airplane. Good grief.
And seeing, I remember when I used to play Lineage 2, and the first boss I fought in Lineage 2 was Antheris, and Antheris was this huge boss, and huge boss. And I thought that was so cool because you would see 100 plus people running around in that, and he just dwarfed everybody, and it was a really fun experience. So having something that's super big like this guy is very cool.
Yeah, I think he did a really nice job, and it's got a lot of the quality of Elder Scrolls dragons and stuff. And if Keith had his way, it would be one guy running at that with a sword. That's the game he wants to make.
So fun story. Back in Lineage 2, that fight with Antheris, would take upwards of 6 hours back in the original C2 days. And I was playing a bishop, and we had an enemy alliance that went to go fight Antheris, and there was I was in the raid with them, and I left the raid, and it took 6 hours, like I said. But in Lineage, it took I would say 6 hours to get a percent at max level, right? So it was a significant amount of time. And when you died, you would lose 4% unless you got rezzed by a healer. Well, I was playing a bishop, and I was kind of a spy in that. And after about 5 hours of fighting the boss, and it was down to 3%, I left the raid and cast Restore Life on the boss and brought it back up to 8.
You jerk. Why would you do that?
Because they were my enemy alliance. I'm not going to let them get the drops from that. But
now I know why you're making your own game. Now I know.
That was so
Oh my
cool.
goodness.
I was 18 or 17 or something. But yeah, it was fun.
So good.
Dude, so bad.
So bad. I flagged and died though.
Yeah. lost that experience. They did change the experience later down the line to make it less like
it was like
harsh.
1%. They moved from 4% to 1%.
It was really harsh back in the day. Now moving on to the troll creature, which you have seen a lot of progression of him.
I can't get over this.
You got to see him in the modeling phase, you've seen him in the concept phase, and now you're getting to see kind of like the mesh.
Yeah, he's texturing and getting the materials
yeah.
on. Like you can see the light kind of passing through the ears. Like it's called subsurface scattering. It's all just technical
creepy,
stuff.
but
yeah, Carson, this was perfect for him. I mean, he's a funny, silly guy, and I think his Pinterest board was just the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen.
Oh, when he was looking at
his reference, because we kept telling him like, make him kind of gross and lesions and boils and stuff.
He looks like he's seen some shit.
He has seen some shit. Yes, he definitely has.
He looks like he's seen some shit.
But I was just delighted every time.
That's because whenever we grab the models from the model thing, like their eyes aren't like moving around. So all of the models always look like.
Yes, we have a lot of dead face in the beginning because we have to A-pose them to start so animation can rig everything without a bunch of angles.
When you're seeing those things, like that's the reason why. But also, it's more comedic on this guy than.
No, it is because his eyes are huge and Carson had originally modeled this huge smirk and I'm like, no, you have to neutralize it and then animal bring it back. So.
Okay, I see a merchandising opportunity here. This guy needs to be a squeeze toy that sits on my desk, and when you squeeze him, his eyes pop out.
He's so excited to see it walking around. I don't think we threw any animals in, but he's got quite the swagger when he walks.
So when I got the concept art for this originally, he didn't have a smile on his face, and I was like, he looks like he's gonna go like murder people with
he
fireworks.
looks psychotic.
Yeah, and so like they added a smile to him. I'm like, okay, maybe now he looks like he's joyously going.
Didn't I say to take his smile away? And then we looked at it and he was like really weird.
Yeah. He looked scary. Like he looked.
We should have a nighttime version where he doesn't smile.
Oh, we can definitely do. Yeah, we'll get it. We'll get Mini McP up there. Just tell him whatever idols you want.
He gets like a shiv at night and he doesn't smile, but in the day he's like happy.
No, he's supposed to.
We should just give him the balloon.
No, they're supposed to.
And we should also have a cosmetic animation where when you're fighting a monster, he just runs up and goes psycho and like starts stabbing it.
Oh yeah, I have a lot of thoughts. Come upstairs. Yes. Let's deliver our thoughts to Mini McP. Let's go.
No. Oh my gosh, he's supposed to be bringing you fireworks and joy.
He is. He brings me nothing but joy all the time.
Oh my gosh. Moving on, we have our Tidesnapper.
Yes.
Which, you've probably seen concept art of, but this thing is so good. I love turtles.
Yeah, and this is another one of Carson, and he's sort of rounding out right now. He's working on the saddle and adding hair and stuff. So these shots are sort of in progress, but this was closer to the end of him getting to texturing.
You know?
This is the reason I joined the Kickstarter in the first place. There were only 2 days left to the Kickstarter, and I wanted this Tidesnapper turtle. I'm very happy with the way it turned out. Look how cool it is. I wonder if it's fast like a jet ski, because it has all those pedals. Or maybe not. Maybe it's slow like a turtle. I don't think it would go up on land to eat, though, because of its long neck. It probably eats food off of the bank. But to lay eggs, maybe yes.
So this is the first modeled aquatic mount that you guys have seen.
Well,
right?
Otters
are not aquatic. No, they're land animals.
This is not an otter.
Yeah, this one is all.
This one's only in the water. So you can summon him when you're in the water, and he will go underwater and be above water for you, but not on land.
Yeah, we're just starting to really.
I don't imagine going on land with those flippers.
You could. Maybe when you summon him on land, he can't move and he just kind of flaps.
No.
Yeah, you could have him up. Like, our thought is that, once you dive into some body of water for those underwater quests, this is what, whatever. If you're riding a horse on land and then you have this one in your inventory, then you just swap.
Oh, I don't know about swap.
Oh, is it not?
No, you have to summon them differently. So, you'll have your mounts in your inventory. And then you'll activate the mount to bring it up. You will only maybe you can bring this up on land, but if he's on land, he just flies.
No, that's so cruel.
That's great. Maybe he lays some eggs
on land.
On land.
I know. Well, we have that animal husbandry, so let's do it.
Chris's face when he was thinking about that, because we've been talking about like Tolnar and animal husbandry and like how those systems are going to work and like how those creatures are going to be created, and it's been interesting.
My head just caves in on itself. I'm like, no, it'll be fine. We'll get it working. Don't worry.
It's getting there. So I think that's all the things
Yeah,
for
that
character
was
art. We're gonna
really it
move
for
on
character.
to environment art, which Chris is gonna kind of take over because Bacon is not. His little one's not feeling good, so he had to go back
Yeah,
home. So we were planning on having him here, but Chris has valiantly offered to take on the task of talking over these things. So the first one is the Junior node concepts. You've been seeing some of the concept art for all of the nodes that we're creating and the different tiers of them. So I don't know if you want to.
So this is kind of giving you guys, a look at the mood pieces for these Junior architectural standpoints in what will be Junior nodes. Obviously, these are being created in the same fashion using, that design tool for environment as well as a modular set for creating these, but it gives you an idea of what that node kind of architectural influences will look like from a Junior standpoint.
Yeah, and so this is the secondary one. You can even see some dwarves in there.
Yeah,
if you're looking close enough.
Yeah, and the idea here is to kind of represent that industrial nature in the components of these buildings, but also keeping them agrarian in the aspect that they have to still manage livestock and grow crops and stuff like that.
Are these posted up for? Can they look at these and click and zoom in on them as well?
Not yet, but we will be providing them.
It would just be neat because
yeah.
these pieces are so amazing.
Yeah.
Like Stephen was saying, like if you just focus and look at them, you just notice all these little details.
We post a lot of things to our Instagram later, so definitely check those things out. And then also we will be releasing kind of lore pieces and things of that sort that will incorporate some of these. So stay tuned.
Yeah,
it's
and
beautiful.
these who made these? Were these
Ryan
Richmond. Yeah, Ryan Richmond made these great examples of just kind of setting the mood and composition for how these nodes will look.
Yeah, he's
like
got a great
the
eye.
environment will look and how the buildings will sit on them. It's just wonderful.
Yeah, his composition stuff is always really strong.
Mm-hmm.
I think, is that the last one on that one?
Yep.
Yes. So now we're going to move on to the Dwarven Castle Siege map. So you have been seeing some images of the Castle Siege map. You saw some destruction. Now you're going to get a few more shots of like different areas in the environment that they're creating. I mean, I don't know if Stephen wants to talk a little bit about like the design direction in some of these as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as you guys know, in the MMORPG, there are 5 castles that will be present on the map, and one of these castles will be an original Dunzenkel castle. We call it the Junior Castle map, but really these castles are remnants of the old world, pre-apocalypse that, as you re-enter Verra, you'll be taking back. So, this particular siege map that will be present in our siege testing in Apocalypse will be representative of the set that's used to create the castle in the MMORPG. So the idea here is to have a composition that blends into the side of a mountain because traditionally that's where the Dunzenkel dwarves originated from before they split off into the Dunir and the Nikua. But what you see here is that more traditional type stone-facing mountain-esque incorporated castle structure. So these look very, very good.
Yeah, you're coming along.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to be battling in this, so that'll be very exciting. I know they did start out with a little bit of some, basically on the design front too, they did some like white boxing or gray boxing of areas. So they were like, here's how we want the design to look. And then they were taking all the pieces and elements that they have created from the Dwarven race structure, and then placing those in those places and making sure those catwalks are where they need to be, and making sure that those walls are where they need to be placed in order to make the combat feel really good. And we've been testing all of those things out, and there might be some structural issues that might need to be moved in those playtesting phases. Because obviously we do want spaces where you can kind of snipe down or snipe from above or jump from above or things of that sort. So
the other important aspect about this particular map that you're seeing is as you guys are probably aware, in the MMORPG, each of the 5 castles will have 3 support nodes around them that are not integrated into the traditional node structure of the world from a development standpoint, but rather exist to serve the defenses and abilities of that particular castle in the MMORPG. They can only reach stage level 3, and the guild that occupies the castle is going to be responsible for ensuring that they grow during the prerequisite weeks to the siege. So 3 of those, if there's 4-week intervals between sieges in the MMORPG, week 1 will see node A need to be developed, week 2 will see node B, week 3 will see node C, and then you'll have the 4th week with the castle siege. And based on the success of that occupying guild, in order to forge alliances and partnerships with other communities within the game, they can lead trade goods and resources into those nodes to build them up. And each week that node needs to be built up, enemies of the guild can participate in attempting to destroy those support nodes in order to reduce the defense capabilities of the castle during the siege.
All right, and that's going to kind of wrap up our environment stuff. So thank you again, Chris, for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you, Chris.
I'm actually going to be stopping out as well, and we're going to...
How did you guys like the show? Did you like all that artwork and all those creatures? I did. I loved it. Or were you crying because there's not enough substance? There's not enough substance. I didn't get any dates. I'll see you guys in the next episode. I'm not sure when that comes out, but it'll be soon.